the president and owner of Encore Events, more than just an entertainment company. Encore has incredible events. I love you guys.
When we can have them, Theo.
Yeah, they're coming, baby.
Incredible.
They're coming. They're coming. Well, and you know what? I was thinking about, talking to everybody tonight, and couples should not worry, because if they're talking to anybody that's here tonight, or, most of our vendors that they can find on our website at rochesterwedding.com, these are people that have experience, and you just relax, because they'll take care of you. And, like some of the details Shannon from Creative Caters was going through. I mean, who thinks of all that stuff? These people that are in the business, and
Yeah.
and you guys, even before all this, you guys would always think about the next greatest thing for events, and now you're helping couples juggle through the whole thing.
We're thinking what's going to happen in January right now, and if having a reputable vendor, and I know, like, if you could just get married for the first time, like, who do you hire? And it really starts out finding a reputable source, and Rochester Wedding has always been that. It's the only bridal expo I recommend. You all do a fantastic job, and you have quality vendors that aren't going to leave customers high and dry. So my recommendation for couples that maybe they're planning date 2.0 or 3.0, if you're trying to find that backup vendor, you don't have time to waste. You need to make the quick decision, and you make the right decision. My recommendation would be to ask your vendors who would they hire, because quite frankly, we know. I talked to 2 venues today. They're in my contacts. We all know our schedules. We know what's going on. We know what challenges each vendor is facing, and we're going to set you up with that right person. And trust me, it's going to be a lot easier process. And these Facebook groups, I think they're like tabloids. They're infotainment. I take the comment. It's fine if you want to go and post your question and say, hey, ladies or guys, what's going on? What do you recommend? The people you're reaching out to, they may have not gotten married, or they have gone through this process once. We do it several hundred times a year, times 21 years. If there was an obstacle that we had to jump through, these people up here have probably been through it. So It goes back to what you said. It's all about experience and know-how.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? That's a really important point that you brought up, and I didn't even think about that, but you want to be careful about where you're asking questions and where you're getting information, and who better to trust than the people that have the experience and who've been doing this for so long, like everybody here tonight.
Right.
I mean, these are the people that you ask these questions to, because if they can't help you, they're going to steer you in the right direction.
Exactly.
That's an awesome observation. Thanks for pointing that out.
Of course. And part of their question process, if you're booking someone new for the first time, or if you're going through this re-interview process, what do they do during the day? I'll tell you what I do. I am on national podcasts for weddings in cities a lot bigger than Rochester, New York, and what they're doing. I know the national statistic for reschedules, for cancellations. If you're hiring a wedding professional that is their true profession, they should know what's going on in their industry and know how to give you the best advice possible.
And then, and then handle it. What's the plan? Everybody here has a plan. They know exactly how they're handling it. They know what they're going to be doing going forward. And again, that's absolutely priceless. That's really great information. So, and that's what we try to do too, is have our pulse on what's going on in the business and in the atmosphere. So hopefully we'll be able to easily navigate our way out of this. It's going to look a little weird for a little while, of course.
Right.
But you know what? I think in a very short period of time, it's going to get back to the normalcy of these amazing celebrations. And I think that's one thing I didn't tell people yet, is that it's a celebration of your family and your friends, and don't, compromise. If you want it to be whatever you want it to be, continue to go forward in that fashion. And again, have the people around you, get people with experience. They will make it stress-free and seamless. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And the only other offer, a piece of advice I can offer is, we're finding out, I talk, from a vendor perspective, I read it a lot on social media. We also do business consulting. I hear it from other DJs around the country. What we're finding out more than ever is the importance of both parties knowing what's in their contract. We're finding out clients who have no idea what they signed. So when we say phrases like force majeure, or what's going to happen in the event of a pandemic, tornadic activity, strike, riot, whatever, it's like, wait, what? What's going on? So the only advice I would give is that really know what's in your contract that you're signing, know what's expected of you, know that whatever you're giving your hard-earned dollar for, what you're going to be getting in return.
So I've been in situations where people are like, okay, here's the contract, and this is what the fine print says, sign right here. And so really, I mean, I'm thinking about it. They should say, okay, give me 5 minutes. I'd like to read through this to really understand what happens for all these, situations, right?
Right. And by no means, here's my disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. So if you want some specific advice, I would suggest consulting attorney. I am not that.
But the important thing with a contract, and I tell couples all the time, it's an agreement between you and somebody else, and it sets the expectation. If, this is the service you're asking for, and they'll provide it based on all this information. So, you kind of set up the expectations.
Exactly. And there should be a contract and consideration of the contract. So that is in the form of a deposit or a retainer. So whatever service that you are booking, you should know exactly what you're getting, when you're getting it, how you're getting it, and what's going to happen if some superior force, which is French for force majeure, other way around. What's going to happen if some obstacle falls down the middle of the road? What route are we going to take to get to the destination? And that's the biggest, like COVID-19.
I was thinking like a snowstorm. Oh wait, we live in Rochester. That would never happen.
It's not that, unfortunately. But the biggest, frankly, like I said, 94% of a reschedule is going on nationwide. The other 6% actually are flat out canceling. The biggest, toughest discussion that we're having, and I had two today, is just, okay, we may not even be sure that we're having a wedding, and which is a breach of contract for us. I mean, when clients are completely going, this way, when, whoa, I mean, the contract says that we're going to go that way. I mean, can we meet somewhere in the middle? I mean, we're human. I mean, this is not, we base our business decisions based on what you promise.
Yeah, and thank God, 94% of people are rescheduling, because that's the smart thing to do. It might not happen on the exact date. I was talking to a wedding professional the other day, and if it's an exact date that you want, get married and then have the party at another date. So, don't cancel. And thank God most people aren't. I mean, 94%, that's amazing to have that many people working around that postponement. I just got a question on Facebook. Somebody was asking about the top 3 services people hire Encore events for.
Oh, great question. Thank you, whoever asked that. So top 3, number 1 would be having a DJ at your event, so live DJs. Number 2 would be a photo booth. With COVID, unfortunately, props are out this year. And we are taking precautions to maintain that, but
nobody needs props. You just need more alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the last thing is some sort of event decor, like lighting, which is like going on behind me right now. It absolutely makes the venue pop. It's awesome, and those are the top 3 for Encore.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's really important for people to consider the music, because I've been to weddings where the music wasn't up to par, and it it really affected the wedding. And when you can keep people having fun and dancing all night long, it really makes a big difference. So
Yeah.
something to really invest in.
For sure, and we're finding out more than ever. I was explaining to a set of parents tonight. You know, it's not just we're showing up at 6 o'clock and DJing until 11. You know, we do all of this planning. We almost put up 40 hours into a client's account between time of booking until the last song played. There's a lot of planning. We're frankly talking a lot of people off the edge. I have my general manager, John Roach. He is dedicated 40 plus hours a week just to COVID. That's
Wow.
not even new business
Wow.
or maintaining our clients.
That's amazing.
So we're doing a lot as for Encore, and we're not the same apples that are rest on the apple tree. We do things differently.
Nice. So how do people get a hold of Encore events?
All right, so I'm going to do a shameless plug. I apologize, but we're at rochesterdj.com is our website. We're on Insta, we're on Facebook. Share us, check in. It'll be great. We are having a virtual open house. We have a brick and mortar office downtown, but in lieu of everything that's going on, we're doing everything virtually. It's tomorrow night. To register for that, go to rochesterdj.com, open house, click that, register. We'll send you the Zoom link and password. Also, if you're an Encore client, I said we're different. If you are rescheduling your wedding, we are holding a private Zoom wedding party on Saturday, May 30th. It's going to be super fun. We're doing absolutely, yeah. So for the clients who can't have their wedding, we're going to do something special for you. We're going to have some DJs perform for you live in the comfort of your living room. It's going to be super cool. And lastly, you can find me on Spotify, the Rich Cranston Experience. So if your living room workout soundtrack needs a refresh, UFO,
visit
by the way,
the Rich Cranston Experience.
Check into that. You can throw some iron around to that for sure.
Unlike the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Completely different.
Still an experience.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rich, for being with us tonight. I am so excited you were here to lighten the mood a little bit and tell us what's going on in the Encore event world.
Well, we love playing in this industry. Everybody, here, we just want to get back to celebrating with you again. Thank you. You're the only promoter that's doing something like this, and that's doing something. And that says a lot about your character and your business. So everybody, we're going to get through this. Zoom hugs all around, and stay safe and healthy. Wash your hands.
Thanks, Rich.